You have often pondered why loneliness clings to you like a shadow, even when you are surrounded by people, leaving your heart feeling hollow and desolate. You join friends for gatherings, flashing bright smiles, diving into their laughter and conversations with all the enthusiasm you can muster. Yet beneath this vibrant facade, a profound emptiness lingers, as if invisible walls encase you, blocking any true connection to the emotions of those around you. Have you ever experienced this? Being in a room full of people who smile warmly, engage in light-hearted banter, and inquire about your life, yet still feeling as though you are separated by an invisible pane of glass. This disconnection is not rooted in a lack of affection or care, but in an inner loneliness that creeps silently, unnoticed within the depths of your being. You might ask yourself, I have friends, family, and a bustling social life, so why does this solitude persist? This loneliness is not a mere absence of companionship, but a deeper emotional void, a quiet ache that resides in the core of your soul. It remains hidden from others, as it lacks the clarity of sadness or the intensity of anger, making it difficult for you to recognize or articulate. It is not simply a fleeting sense of loss, but a profound self-doubt, annoying isolation that questions your place in the world. In the rhythm of daily life, you often feel like a spectator, physically present but emotionally detached, hovering on the edges of every interaction. This sensation is like dust suspended in the air, invisible yet ever present, subtly shaping your thoughts and actions. When you try to immerse yourself in the warmth of others, that inner emptiness acts like an anchor, pulling you back from truly belonging. You smile at those around you, but the alienation behind that smile grows more apparent the harder you try to conceal it. You begin to question whether acceptance comes only through this performance, whether you must bury your vulnerabilities to secure a place among others. This uncertainty gnaws at you. Are you failing to try hard enough, or is there no space in this world where you truly fit? This pervasive emptiness fuels a deeper doubt about your ability to forge meaningful emotional bonds with anyone. On quiet, solitary nights, you lie awake, dissecting your life, wondering what you have overlooked, why you struggle to share in the effortless emotional exchanges others seem to navigate so naturally. Even with so many people around you, when their eyes seem to glimpse the parts of you that you cannot voice, you retreat into silence, choosing to hide rather than reveal. This intangible void haunts you, a relentless companion that torments your inner world without ever fully surfacing. It breeds unease and estrangement, even in your closest relationships, leaving you feeling like a stranger in moments of supposed intimacy. Even those you hold dearest cannot fully comprehend this invisible barrier that isolates you, forcing you to maintain a distance from the world. This loneliness feels suffocating, an unshakable weight, yet you struggle to name it or share it, left to carry its burden in silence. Your life often feels like a meticulously staged play, where you perform the role others expect, delivering lines and gestures with practiced precision. No matter the setting, you wear a smile, even as emotional storms churn within, threatening to unravel your composure. In social settings, you strive to appear poised, avoiding any behavior that might mark you as too different or overly emotional. During conversations, you carefully regulate your responses, projecting calm and control, though your mind swirls with doubts and insecurities. You present a polished version of yourself, rational, mature, unshaken, as if you are impervious to the chaos of human emotion. When others commend your steadiness or call you composed, you offer a faint smile, fully aware that this is merely a mask you have crafted with care. You know that what they see is a curated image, while the real you remains buried beneath layers of pretense. Yet you cannot escape the truth of your inner world, where loneliness and pain persist, unacknowledged, and unresolved. Though you project the image of a confident adult, your inner self is often eroded by a silent, unrelenting loneliness. This act of self-disguise has become your shield, a way to guard against the potential pain of emotional exposure. When you are alone, you confront the reality that this facade is deeply ingrained, woven into the fabric of your existence, impossible to shed without effort. This pretense, though protective, often leaves you feeling misunderstood, amplifying your sense of isolation. Despite the warmth of your interactions, your inner self struggles to form authentic emotional connections. You question whether this self-imposed armor truly serves you, or if it barricades you from the intimacy you crave. Each time you retreat to your own space and face your reflection, you ask yourself, am I safeguarding my heart? Or am I running from who I truly am? This internal tug-of-war leaves you adrift in confusion and helplessness, yearning to break free from this cycle. Can you dismantle this carefully constructed mask and rediscover the person you have buried beneath it? This struggle has become a heavy burden, resurfacing in quiet moments to remind you that you have yet to confront your true self. The roots of this behavior trace back to a deep-seated need to be accepted, a desire that has shaped you since childhood. From a young age, you learn to conceal your true emotions, using smiles to mask unease and silence to sidestep conflict. These behaviors, though they appeared mature, were your early attempts to shield yourself from emotional pain. Your parents demanded a flawless exterior, leaving no room for vulnerability or imperfection in their vision of you. Throughout your childhood, your family and those around you reinforced the idea that strength meant hiding weakness, that emotional displays were a liability. You internalized this, suppressing your feelings, burying pain so deep it felt like it might suffocate you. This pattern took hold in your family, where your attempts to express emotions were met with impatience or outright dismissal, as if you were told, "Stop overthinking nonsense." These moments taught you that sharing your feelings was a burden, a flaw to be avoided at all costs. You silenced your inner voice, perfecting an outward persona to shield yourself from judgment or rejection. As you entered adulthood, this pattern solidified, becoming your default response to any external pressure or emotional challenge. When unease surfaces, you instinctively adjust your demeanor, projecting calm and rationality to hide the turbulence within. This approach spared you immediate conflict or hurt, but it came at the cost of losing touch with your authentic self. Each act of pretense drained you further, as if you were living a life scripted for others rather than yourself. Though you appeared capable and composed, inside you were consumed by relentless self-doubt and questioning. You began to wonder if this constant suppression was truly improving your life, or if it was eroding the essence of who you are. The toll of this coping mechanism grew heavier, sapping your mental and emotional energy over time. You grew terrified of revealing your true emotions, fearing that doing so would reopen old wounds you had worked so hard to bury. You could no longer embrace your unguarded self. Any emotional vulnerability felt like a threat to your safety. This self-imposed restraint left you numb, as if you had lost the ability to fully experience life's vibrancy. Like a machine programmed to perform, you moved through your days mechanically, but the void within remained unfulfilled. You yearned for a way to break free, to pierce this invisible armor and face your true self. But the path forward felt daunting and unclear. You vividly recall the first time you felt this crushing sense of powerlessness and isolation, as if all warmth and connection had evaporated before you. You were about 12, and your parents' frequent arguments planted seeds of doubt about your own worthiness of love. During their heated exchanges, you would retreat to your room, desperate to block out the sound of their voices. One day, overwhelmed, You stepped out to seek their comfort, only to be met with indifference, as if you were invisible in their world. In that moment, you felt small, insignificant, and utterly powerless. If I stay quiet, maybe they'll notice me, you thought, clinging to a fragile hope. From that point forward, you mastered the art of silence, hiding your pain to avoid exposing your vulnerability. You convinced yourself that concealing your hurt was the safest path, the only way to protect yourself from further rejection. Over time, you realized this choice did not fortify you. It only deepened your isolation, leaving you more alone than ever. Reflecting on that younger self, you wonder if a braver response might have altered your path. You began to fear that persisting in this pattern would trap you forever in this emotional limbo. As you matured, you recognized that those early experiences were the foundation of your tendency to avoid emotional exposure. Whenever loneliness or pain surfaced, you instinctively withdrew, burying your feelings to shield yourself from the sting of rejection or neglect. You came to see that this so-called self-protection was not a solution, but a form of escape, a way to sidestep rather than confront your pain. In moments of emotional conflict, you chose flight over fight, sparing yourself immediate hurt but stunting your growth. This belief became a guiding principle. If I stay silent, if I hide my true self, I can avoid further pain. This mindset led you to shy away from deep emotional connections, fearing that vulnerability would invite harm. You felt that only by shrinking yourself, making yourself smaller, less visible, could you maintain a sense of safety. When others tried to reach your inner world, you recoiled, terrified that exposing your fragility would leave you defenseless. This minimized existence became your refuge, the only way you felt secure in a world that seemed unpredictable. Yet as the years passed, you began to grasp the steep price of this self-imposed isolation. It distanced you from others, severing the ties that could have anchored you to a sense of belonging. It stripped away your authentic self, leaving only a hollow shell of who you might have been. Though you projected strength, your inner loneliness grew into an all-consuming force. In the stillness of night, alone with your thoughts, you confronted the emptiness that had taken root in your life. You realized that breaking free from this minimized existence was the only way to reclaim yourself and find true meaning. Each step toward change felt fraught with fear, yet you knew it was the only path to healing. You began to see that emotional connection was not a threat, but the very source of strength you had longed for all along. If you remained locked in this self-imposed fortress, you would never know the beauty of true intimacy or the depth of genuine bonds. One day, a quiet revelation stirred within you. You did not have to hide forever. You began to allow yourself to feel the emotions you had suppressed for so long: grief, anger, frustration, and longing. These feelings were not signs of weakness, but fragments of your humanity, vital pieces of your authentic self. You learned to embrace them, to sit with them, rather than flee from their intensity. This is not my fault, you reassured yourself. I was simply trying to survive. This acknowledgement marked a turning point, a moment of profound self-acceptance. You stopped viewing your defenses as flaws and began to see them as tools that had once kept you safe in a turbulent world. You thanked them for their role, even as you worked to let them go. Healing is not a sudden transformation. It is a slow, deliberate journey, unfolding with each moment of courage. You began to release the walls you had built, allowing yourself to feel the full spectrum of your emotions without judgment. Healing, you discovered, is not about becoming someone new, but about rediscovering the self you had lost to fear and doubt. You permitted yourself to express the pain you had once buried, to voice the truths you had silenced for so long. Healing begins when you stop hiding, you told yourself, a mantra that guided your steps forward. Gradually, you rebuilt trust in yourself, believing that you could forge a future filled with connection and meaning. This process is far from easy, marked by moments of doubt and setbacks. But you know now that you are capable of facing your true self. Healing is not about reinventing yourself, but about reclaiming the person you were always meant to be. You came to understand that only by embracing your past, its pain, its lessons, its truth, you step boldly into the future. You began to seek out moments of vulnerability, sharing your thoughts with trusted friends, allowing them to see the parts of you that you had long hidden. These small acts of courage felt like stepping into uncharted territory, but they also brought a sense of liberation you had never known. You learned to listen to your inner voice, to honor its whispers rather than silence them out of fear. Each time you chose authenticity over pretense, you felt a piece of yourself return, as if you were piecing together a long-forgotten puzzle. You started to notice moments of connections, genuine laughter, shared tears, quiet understanding that filled the void you had carried for so long. These moments, though fleeting, reminded you that you're not alone, that your heart is capable of giving and receiving love. You began to redefine strength, not as the absence of vulnerability, but as the courage to show it, to let others see the real you. This shift in perspective has been transformative, allowing you to build relationships rooted in trust and mutual understanding. You still have moments of doubt, times when the old fears resurface, urging you to retreat behind your familiar walls. But now, you recognize these moments as opportunities to choose differently, to lean into vulnerability rather than away from it. You are learning to forgive yourself for the years spent hiding, to see them not as wasted time, but as part of your journey towards self-discovery. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory, a testament to your resilience and desire for a fuller life. You are not yet whole, but you are on your way, guided by the belief that you are worthy of love, connection, and belonging. This journey has taught you that loneliness, though painful, is also a teacher, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. You are learning to embrace all parts of yourself, the light and the shadow, the strength and the fragility. In doing so, you are finding your place in the world, not as a spectator, but as an active participant, ready to live fully and authentically. Healing is a return to yourself. You remind yourself, and with each day, you are coming home.